Hi everyone, I'm Chris. I'm a streamer in the Occupy movement. When I say I'm a streamer in the Occupy movement, I don't want people to think that's just what I do. I stream, yes, I stream all the events that I can get to, and make sure that I stream everything. Actually, I'll stream just cops arresting somebody on the street that if I'm passing by. I'm just a streamer. I do it for the Occupy movement. Now, I also, it doesn't mean that I don't plan events. I work on a lot of other committees also besides the media committee to be involved in the Occupy movement. I live, breathe, Occupy. I work day and night, 24/7, doing Occupy stuff. Working on videos, working on flyering, working on hanging posters, working on planning events, working on the logistics of them and the surveillance of them. I just got to Seattle for Occupy Seattle, so I'm not involved in any other committees besides the direct action, media, and event planning. I guess I'm involved in a subcommittee that they have. They're doing a festival up here too, but that's a little off topic. I like the Occupy movement. I think it's a wonderful idea that really needs to grow in this country. We're planting the seeds of the future. I look at it that way. The future is us. Well, the future is the children that we're teaching and the children's children that we're teaching. But right now, we are creating that future. I was part of Occupy Walk USA, which was a lot of fun and outreaching because you actually got to talk to more people that weren't involved, never heard of the Occupy movement whatsoever. So in that aspect, I really did enjoy the Occupy Walk movement, and I really enjoyed streaming while doing that. We did a bank check in Gallup, New Mexico that I streamed. That was wonderful. We did a city or a tribal council meeting in Window Rock, Arizona, where we met the vice president of the Navajo Indian tribe. But none of the Navajo Indians had ever heard of the Occupy movement. They hadn't even heard of Occupy Wall Street. I went 2 weeks talking to people and videotaping people that had never heard of the Occupy movement. So I came up with the saying that we're like the Johnny Occuseeds of this movement. We are the ones that are going around planting the seeds of hope and future and tranquility and peace and sustainability. So that's part of the reason why I'm out here, I guess. I'm out here because I look around and I don't see a future for our kids. I don't see a future for our children with the way education cuts are going and everything like that. I mean, in 20 years we'll run out of college education money because the way we have our economy set up, it won't sustain it. We'll run out of ways to deliver food to grocery stores because our fossilized fuel will be so low, and we hadn't worked on changing anything to implement a new structure to replace the structure that we have in place right now. So I'm out here trying to teach, educate, and stream and document and record for history purposes, for historical purposes, for everything, for every reason that we could think of. I want to make sure that this is documented because I really believe this is the beginning of the new creation, or of the new world that we're creating. I started Occupy because when I heard of Occupy Wall Street, I was following it, and I'd heard Occupy San Diego had started up, and I was watching a streamer. I was watching somebody that was streaming, and they were streaming in Boston, Massachusetts, and they were streaming how the cops came in during one of their protests and came and they beat them. They physically beat people. I watched women get beat and everything on the computers because of a streamer. And the next day I was at Occupy San Diego after work, and 2 weeks later I'd quit my job because I believed in this so much that I wanted to dedicate my time full-time to this movement. And I've been doing that ever since. There hasn't been a day in my life that I have since Occupy movement started. I say my life because it was a new birth for me also. It was. My whole life is different than it was 8 months ago, 9 months ago, so it was a new birth. But I committed full time because I really do believe in what is happening, and I think it needs more people to commit full time. To commit, even though those people that do commit full time, we suffer. How do we survive if we commit full time? And how do I survive streaming? We barely survive. We do what we have to. We have to sleep on the sidewalk somewhere in the city. We do. If we have to. We have to do anything. We have to go get EBTs to eat. If we have to get food stamps so we can eat, we will. We're not. We've gotten rid of our egos. Anybody that's a real occupier has taken their ego and thrown it away. Our needs are secondary to the needs of the movement. We totally feel that. I know there's a lot of people that I talk to that totally feel that have committed 24/7 to occupying, to helping the Occupy movement. We come secondary. Our lives may not be as good as some other people's, but we're trying to make the future lives better than what it's looking for. So that's why we just survive. We survive with the WePay account. We don't really get much on that. I can guarantee you that. I don't think we've had $50, $100 donated to that at the most. Last I knew it was below that, but I don't know if anything's been donated in the last couple weeks, so I don't want to misquote. But because we do believe in transparency. If you ask what we spend the money on, we're happy to tell you. If you want to donate and say, I want it to be used for this, I heard you needed this in your last stream, that's what it'll be used for. It's not our money, it's the people's money. We're just a little teeny committee kind of for the people to make sure that we can show everything, that we can document everything. We are the replacement of the mass media, hopefully. We are the future of the streamers. I hope to see us recording news programs, going around and recording interviews of local activists, explaining the issues that they're working on, explaining the real issues that are plaguing our streets of the world. We have an economic system called capitalism that's morphed into something that's not even capitalism anymore. It's survival of the 1% and to hell with the rest of the world. As long as we make ours, it doesn't matter. And we can't keep going down that path. We have to educate people that sustainability, societal needs, education, such as education, healthcare for societal needs, those have to come before profit. Those have to happen way before profit. If profit comes before people, we end up with this. I was just in Chicago for the NATO protests, and I stayed down in the south side of Chicago because that's one of the higher impoverished communities, so I could see how bad it was. And if you think capitalism's working, go to Detroit, go to Chicago, go to any of your major cities and go to any of the impoverished communities and look around you and see how well capitalism's working. How long am I going to do this for? I'm going to do this for as long as I can. Financially, I don't really care. If we can't financially raise money to stream and I have to stop streaming, I'll stop streaming. But I'm still going to occupy. No matter what, I'm going to occupy. If I have to sleep under a bridge and use my laptop at public libraries to get internet access, to work on planning and organizing and working on videos that are being created, then I will. That's not an option. The only option is actually fixing the problems. I know we have a lot of people that tell us to get a job and things like that, and we do have a job. It's an occupation. So please donate. The lady that helped me set up this stream, that funded the entire process to begin with, she lives on a fixed income. She believes in this also. Her name is Jane. She's my partner. I'm not a single individual. I have a team. We have other people that work on the team that help us promote when we're going to be streaming and things like that. This is a group effort. We're not trying to be an individualistic here. That's for sure. We're trying to be collectivism instead of individualistic. That's the only way this is going to work. In the beginning, I watched a lot of streamers become individualistic and I noticed they're not around anymore. When I started streaming, I said to myself, I'm not going to be an individualistic person doing this. I'll do streaming, but only if it can be a group effort. And this is a group effort streaming operation. So, and the people that fund it, they're all living on fixed incomes. So if you can donate, if you have extra cash, I don't care if it's $1 from everybody that watches. It helps pay the bills. We have to pay a company, a corporation that we despise to be able to use the tools that we have to our ability right now. We don't like those tools, but we have to use them. But we have to pay that bill to stay up streaming. So it's kind of important that we do get donations, because most of us that are doing this are 24/7 occupiers. We give every ounce of our energies to the Occupy movement. So I love you all, but please, please donate. Please, we need the help. We really do. The streaming will go away more and more if we don't help. We have a lot of things that are being donated to in this Occupy movement. Streaming should be one of the priorities for donations, because without streamers, you have to rely on Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, CBS, ABC, and we know how they're going to treat the Occupy movement. They're going to say, "Oh, look at them. They're upset about this, and now on to this story." That's about all we're going to get. So, streamers are very important. We love you all too. I don't really know any streamers that are trying to be a glory hound anymore in this movement. I did in the beginning, like I said, but the streamers that are out there now, man, I love y'all. All power to the people. That's for sure. If you're a streamer and you're up in the front lines when these protests are happening, I love you. I'm right there with you. I won't leave. Even if they take my camera away, I won't leave. So I love you all. I hope you can donate. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'll post my email at the end. You can ask me any questions you want. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.